Door Horror Podcast.
R. Restricted. Under 17 requires accompanying parent or adult guardian.
Oh, you cat!
All right. This is the Heavy Door Horror Podcast. My name is Heavy Door Dan, Ganja Zombie, the original Babylon John, the radioactive one, a.k.a. Claymation Caligula, coming to you on October 7, 2024, from my palatial suburban estate here in the tropical city of Union in the free-thinking state of California. On this podcast, we review and discuss horror movies from the cult and B subgenres of horror, specifically focusing on trashy films from the late 70s and 80s, and who knows, we may even review a flick from the early 90s here and there. This week's movie is 1986's, right? 1986's Trick or Treat. And before we get into the movie, let's go around the padded for our own safety room and introduce our irregulators. Let's go ahead as usual and start at the top.
What's up, guys?
Indeed, what's up, man?
Not much, man. Just back at it, man. Another week, another day in paradise. But glad to be back.
Yes, sir. We are back. All right, let's head on over to
Hey, Eric. How you doing, Eric?
let's talk to Eric. How's it going, Eric?
What's up, party people? Here to talk about this movie. Let's get into it.
Now, Kim Hem, what do you have to say for
Hey,
yourself?
man, how's it going, man?
Hey everyone, doing great. Another beautiful day in sunny California. How you guys doing?
I'm good, man. Shit, ready to do this thing. Were you waiting for the listeners to respond? That was weird.
Yeah, I was.
All right.
We're supposed to go live.
I know we're supposed to be streaming, right? We'll get there.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get into it. So 1986 is Trick or Treat. So IMDb gives us a 5.9 out of 10 with 8,900 reviews. Rotten Tomatoes gives it 70%, but only on 10 reviews from the critics. But it gets a 73% with over 5,000 reviews from the viewers. And then on
Wow, a lot of people saw this
I
movie.
would imagine with the Gene Simmons, Ozzy Osbourne, a lot of people went that way.
Yeah.
And then Metacritic gives us a 57 out of 100. And for the viewers, that's a 5.5 out of 10. And I believe there was only like 10 viewers that reviewed there. Who's cooking in the background? A lot of dishes going on.
Oh, my.
I mean, I stay cooking because I'm hot, baby. So yeah.
Yeah.
So the week that this movie came out, or roughly around the time this movie came out, I believe it was the same week, if not week before after. But it was competing with Crocodile Dundee, was number one in the movie theaters. And then there was The Color of Money, Soul Man, Peggy Sue Got Married. Trick or Treat was number 5. That was the week it premiered. Up against those other films. So it premiered higher than Jumpin' Jack Flash, Tough Guys. And this week it actually premiered higher than Top Gun and Stand By Me, but I'm pretty sure they'd been in the movie theaters for a couple weeks at that point.
Wow, but it beat those out. Those are two classics. Yeah, those 2 classics.
Alternative taglines, we have a deadly obsession turns into a spine-tingling horror. Yeah, man. We have Sammy Kerr. His fans won't let him die. He won't let them live. Let's see. Sammy Kerr. He's a rock and roll knight. And we got Rock and Roll Will Never Die. Seems kind of generic. And then this one's kind of stupid. What are you afraid of? It's only rock and roll. Let's see. So there's, if you think Sammy Kerr looks like he's been to hell and back, it's because he has. And finally, the last tagline, ultimate tagline, was the ultimate comeback, which I think is actually pretty good. That's not bad.
That's not bad. It's short and to the point. So,
So alternative titles. In Spain, it was, check this out. In Spain, it was Muerte at 33 RPM.
Yeah, guess by 33 RPM. Yeah.
Right. In Germany, it was known as the Ragman, or in German, it would obviously be pronounced Dulwich Frequens. Dulwich Frequens. Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
In Italy is
Nice.
33 girl or 33 giri. In Brazil, it was heavy metal do horror ou rock do dia das brujas. That's a mouthful right there. In Spanish, it was
Yeah, no kidding.
in Portugal, it was O Massacre de Halloween. France, it was Farce, a Farce un Festin, which is horror rock. And there's a few others here that I won't even try to pronounce. But let's go ahead and get into the movie. So again, Trick or Treat from 1986, and so we come in with some cool lion intro, right? I thought that was pretty neat. It shows the lion logo, and then there's like a lion moving around the room, and then the actual lion from the logo pops up. And what do we get here? And this is just so I put a note here. The whole at the beginning, there's a voiceover that kind of explains all this weird demonic shit. I'm gonna go ahead and cut that and put it in the movie.
Go, bear these tidings to great Lucifer. Say Faustus doth surrender up his soul, so he will spare him 24 years, to give me whatsoever I shall ask, to tell me whatsoever I demand, to slay mine enemies, and aid my friends, and always be obedient to my will.
So we see Gene Simmons, right? Basically, we open up in the studio, right? And we see Gene Simmons is new. No, I'm sorry. We're in the trailer still, and they announced Gene Simmons is Nuke. And they're panning around. It looks like like a 1980s 18-year-old's bedroom, more or less. We see a signed rock poster, a Judas Priest calendar, an ant.
Yeah, there were some great heavy metal records and rock and roll records that they flashed by.
Priest, Anthrax. There's Ozzy. There was a Twisted Sister picture. There was a hamster, which I thought was kind of random, right? There's an old stereo. And then there's what is he sitting? He's sitting around reading about, or was he writing about, journaling about rock stars, right? And something about Airhead.
Yeah, don't we get we almost immediately get some exposition from our lead, him voiceover whatever he's writing down or whatever the fuck.
Talking about airheads and brainheads. And then he says something about Leslie, right? And so they're
because she's the female lead.
They're at the school, and he sees Leslie by his locker, and whatever they have an exchange there. Next thing, they're in the cafeteria, and he's drinking chocolate milk, and the bully, who is the gay guy from Melrose Place, shows up. And
His name in the movie is Tim.
Bully.
And I had Tim in parentheses bully. He's the school bully.
His hair and all that bullshit. And meanwhile, in the background, the song "Stand Up and Counting" is playing. And he's in the locker room. He's getting bullied, and this is like a music montage, kind of in slow motion, right? They kind of.
Yeah, and I wrote down. I don't need to see the boys' locker room. All these guys running around in their tidy whities and stuff. Like, that was unnecessary.
Just like this weird, it's kind of like a wannabe 80s music, like a music video almost, kind of thing. And basically it just kind of highlights how he's bullied in school and picked on. They're playing Keep Away with his cassettes or whatever. And they managed to get him to go out into the gymnasium where the girls' volleyball team is playing. And he's out there and ends up basically in the nude, right, in front of the entire girls' volleyball team.
Well, they take his towel off and shove him out the door, basically, and shut it behind him, and now he's.
I thought they threw something out the door, and he like reached in for it, or like he dived
tape out the door. Yeah.
Doesn't realize that the girls they're playing.
They baited him.
They see him, and immediately one of them goes to get a camera, of course, right? She takes a she.
Yeah, fucking Polaroid. Oh.
Basically takes a picture of his fucking bare ass, right? He's standing in front of the front door. Or I'm standing in front of the doors.
Yeah, and they had one on hand. It's like, like they're in their backpack or whatever, even though they were at fucking volleyball practice.
Girls, and they grab a camera, Polaroid him, and there's one girl that you could see looks kind of upset about the whole thing. I believe that is Leslie. We come to find out, right? Right, yeah. So then, yeah,
Yes,
basically,
yes, yes.
it's the movie again. The movie just opens with a bunch of dark, imagery and all this whole heavy metal satanic background thing and all this. And just so you're clear, the main character is this guy's name is Eddie Weinbauer. He's basically the school outcast. And his bedroom is plastered with posters of rock gods and idols, and specifically, he has one of this guy, Sammy Kerr. And he writes a yeah, and that whole thing is he was actually
Sammy Kerr,
a
yeah.
fan letter to Sammy is what it was when he talks about the airheads and the brain deads and all that. Yeah,
To Sammy.
and he's venting to Sammy about being bullied in school and all that stuff. Oh yeah, and the whole thing too. This is when we learned that Sammy Kerr went to the same high school. Yeah, same high school.
Right, yeah, he went to, what the hell was the name of the high school? I didn't write it down.
Yes,
Shit.
red letter
That
Sammy
doesn't matter.
went to the same high school.
Oh,
And he
yeah.
signs it off with "Your friend forever, Ragman." That's the stupidest thing.
Yeah, I believe Ragman is also his vanity license plate on his, 19 early 80s or late 70s vehicle.
I don't know if anybody else probably picked up on this, but Sammy Kerr's address is on the envelope. He's from Hoboken. That's where I was born.
Yes, I saw that. That's where I was like, oh shit. There's a little.
Sammy's on the TV. So they're basically playing a news broadcast. I'm talking about heavy metal music and the problems that it's having on the community. And we see on stage they're showing the whole time Sammy Kerr performing while the news lady's talking, and he's literally like squeezing the blood out of a dead snake down his throat and all this crazy shit. But
Didn't he bit the head off the snake and then was drinking its blood? Yeah, it was pretty great. I mean, it was pretty great.
This dude's just squeezing blood out of the snake. I thought it was fucking hysterical, man. I laughed out loud. I thought it was funny stuff. So he's sucking the blood out of a carcass of a dead snake. Eddie's doing his laundry. And there's some interview with some old crow on the TV, and Sammy Kerr's arguing with. Oh, and then they show Sammy Kerr arguing with Congress, which is something that actually did happen back in the 80s, where some metalheads went to Congress. And then they announced that at the end of all this, turns out, oh, and by the way, Sammy Kerr died. Right? This is kind of yeah.
R.I.P. Mr.
Yeah. He caught the end, was like, oh, by the way, he's dead. So and
he's fucking and our character Ragman or Eddie is crushed. I mean, he's beside himself. That's his idol.
Tear shit out the walls. And there's this tear down the walls is the song playing on the radio. So
yeah. I mean, they had a pretty good pretty decent. I mean, pretty good soundtrack for this movie. I mean,
they all sound.
I mean,
all these songs sound very familiar, but I'd have to see the titles. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And well written and well produced. Like I mean,
But let's see.
Yeah, exactly.
Sammy Kerr has died. He died in a mysterious hotel fire. Is how he passed away apparently. And just for the record, it's Lake Ridge High School is the school. Yeah.
Lake Ridge. And have they already said that Sammy Kerr wanted to come back and play music at the high school, and the school the school won't let him, and the school is forbidden it, because he's too provocative and too dangerous and too satanic, and all those adjectives. Rock pornography, yes, I believe that is a phrase they used.
So now we get Eddie goes to the radio station, and here's where we meet Gene Simmons, who is Nuke, who's on the microphone, and he says, "Hey, Ragman, right?" And it's a pretty young Gene Simmons. You know, he looked pretty pink in the cheeks and everything. Huh?
Yeah, at first glance, I mean, I knew it was him, but I had to do a couple double take. I'm like, wait a minute, is that really Gene Simmons? And I'm like, it's got to be, and then because
Yeah.
as at one point, I was trying to see if he'd stick out his tongue and be like, oh, okay, that's for sure Gene Simmons because he's got the long tongue, but yeah, he didn't. But yeah, and that was like, oh, it's got to be, and then yeah, of course it is. You can hear it in his voice and everything.
Gene Simmons don't drink, don't do drugs. Like that man's been clean and sober his whole life. Yeah.
His only vice is pussy. And he, just like Ted Nugent. He's like, I don't drink, I don't smoke. Nugent,
Really?
for instance, I hunt. That's it.
We're at 15 minutes.
Cut that.
All right. So where were we? Yeah. So we're at the young Gene Simmons. And Eddie is just ranting out about his opinions about, the music industry, right? And Sammy's death and all this stuff, right? Almost like it's kind of like been lodging on like conspiracy theory type shit, right? And Nuke, who knew Sammy personally, gives Eddie the only copy of the unreleased album, Songs in the Key of Death. It's cut onto an acetate disc, which is like basically master record.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, because when he hands it to him, he's like, oh, holy shit, this thing is heavy. And it's like, it's not 77 or 177 grams. It's substantially heavier.
And he gives Eddie the last Kerr record. And he's like, really, you sure? He's like, oh, I got it on tape. I was like, of course. I was waiting for him to be like, oh, I already downloaded it. It's on my iPhone. But yeah.
Yeah. He must like this kid a lot because I don't know, just giving out a one of one after this rock god has just died.
So, but Nuke does mention that.
Right, exactly.
Before Eddie leaves, he does mention that they're going to play the album at midnight on Halloween as a tribute. So that's something he kind of, when he leaves the radio station, we've got that back off. So Eddie goes home, Eddie goes back to school, and there's where we meet his buddy Eduardo, right? Just kind of like a nerdy dude, right?
Was this no? It wasn't his friend. I thought.
Yeah.
Oh no, his other friend's name is Roger. He's got
sees his love interest.
He's got two different. Yeah.
And she gives him the new pic of him, right? She happens to have it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, she got the Polaroid of his bare ass, exactly. and she's like, "Oh, here, you should probably have this so you can destroy this."
He goes, "Yeah, I might do that." So that's into that scene. We head on over to the Ragman's back at home now. Eddie Ragman, is back at home. And this is where we see his Ragman license plate. And I guess it's like a quick cut because basically his school ends and he goes get his car to head back to the party. So. Yeah. Yep.
Right. And this pool party, right, which appeared to be, it seemed to me that it was at the high school, and I really don't think the school would have been into that, but what do I know?
I'm pretty sure there's a huge like liability issue right there.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, right. I'm telling you.
I would think so because I did not see a lifeguard on duty at all. Not one.
Movies in the back of the pool. They're real quick. They're real quick.
We do. And I really thought, because Gene Simmons was in this movie, I thought we were going to see more boobage, but I was happy to at least get that at that time. I really had high hopes.
They didn't leave a whole lot there, so I'm phone there. Some boobs. He sees the bullies, they're like beelining to him and telling him to get the fuck out of here or whatever. And that's when we notice that douchebag Tim, his girlfriend, is Lori Loughlin from Full House. It was, wasn't it? It was. Yeah,
It was, wasn't it?
yeah, yep, exactly. Yep.
And also from the '80s classic movie Rad about BMX biking, and and also a resident of the state of California from her USC bribing days later in life.
I had no idea. Yeah, and then I love how people in public
Uh,
were like,
yeah.
people do that kind of thing. Dude, welcome to the fucking planet Earth, man. Wake up. Jesus Christ, people are fucking dumb. Anyway, so yeah, it's Lori Loughlin. So basically, they go and they put like a 10-pound weight in his backpack and push him into the pool.
I mean, he was gonna drown. He was gonna drown. You know,
Yeah.
if
And he couldn't take it off. It was like you
if
couldn't take
Leslie
off the
hadn't
backpack.
jumped in and tried to save him, well, you know, you would figure this kid could swim. Like, take some of that shit off when you're down in the water. You know, once you're in the pool. But you know,
But so yeah, I wrote down he almost drowns. So funny. And then he's rescued.
yeah, well,
The girl that drags him out of the pool was very cute. It is Leslie? Okay, okay. So Eddie snaps and
I believe it's Leslie. It's Leslie. Yeah,
he
yeah.
leaves right. He kind of has a little moment here, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's not. There was another. There
Lou
was
was
another.
upset.
I mean, there's a in that scene at the pool party scene. There's somebody yells, "Get got ear dildos" or something,
So yeah,
and I thought that was pretty funny. I wrote it down. Yeah.
So we're back home with Eddie. He's playing the record and he falls asleep and starts dreaming.
Yeah.
So he plays a record and he's hearing like this demonic voice. And then so in his dream he hears this demonic voice and he sees Sammy in a circle of fire, right? And Eddie starts burning and then he kind of wakes up, right, and kind of snaps out. And when he wakes up, he
Yep.
notices that the record is skipping on the loop cautiously and curiously he spins it backwards, right, like anyone would do. And a voice emerges, and it's Sammy Kerr speaking to him from beyond the grave, whispering,
Yep.
yeah, whispering like, hold on, we might as well go ahead and do it.
Ooh.
It had to go in there somewhere, right? But
Yeah.
something about the whispering about vengeance.
Yeah.
You're the bait. The bait is you, which I thought was fucking kind of weird, but whatever. But yeah, basically, so at this point,
Yeah.
What,
it says,
what does the
it
message
says,
say, man? It's
"You're
like,
the bait. Bait
let the fish fight themselves or something. It was like, what? Yeah, but there's another part before that where he's like, let the big fish fight themselves. You're the bait.
Yeah, so basically,
Yeah.
And then it all comes to fruition in the very next scene of what, you know.
Eddie, to do bad things. Sammy speaks to the back when you play the record, speaks backwards, speaks to Eddie, encouraging him to strike out at his bullies, coming to school. And Eddie basically, says, "Fuck yeah, let's do this, right?" Yeah. And so, he's back at the school now, and he's in the cafeteria and confronts the bullies.
Oh, he's into it, man. He's big time into it. Yeah.
Oh, so he hits one of them with a tray to the face and he runs off. And they start chasing, and that kid gets a fucking tray to the face, boy, just like whack, right? It was pretty bad.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty. It was pretty good. And I mean, yeah. And then this huge chase scene, in throughout the school, fucking takes place.
Guy that paid the bills that day. But yeah, he runs through the library. He runs through band class. It's like a fucking Ferris Bueller movie or some shit, right?
And he.
Yeah.
And he's also like he's running, in an order where he knows he's set up obstacles and shit or where you can throw something down and all these assholes trip over it or fall down,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yep. So it's
He knocks down the janitor's mop bucket so the floor gets wet. Everybody goes sliding.
Right out of the right the dealio on the wall, and he bursts into the room and just starts spraying his damn fire extinguisher. Turns out it's the teacher's lounge, and the fucking teachers are all like, "What the fuck are you doing, bro?" It's like, do we
Yeah.
this?
Yeah, it's detention for the next month for you, sir. Yeah. Oh.
He does. So Eddie does mention. So that scene basically ends with him hosing down the teacher's lounge, and we just assume Tim's gonna get in trouble, and Eddie kind of got his little bit of revenge there. Um, and at some point he's telling his friend Roger about how it was Sammy who told him to do it and this, that, and the other thing, and Roger just doesn't. He doesn't really believe him, So anyway, that's the end of that scene at the school after Tim made an ass of himself. We're back at home with Roger playing. So Roger's there with Eddie now. He's playing the record, right? And something about Eddie's telling him it's a message on there that's meant for me. And his friend Roger's like, it's probably some marketing scam or something, so that you play your record backwards and it ruins the record, so you have to buy more records, right? Which well, there is that, and it's acetate, so you can't really destroy it.
Right.
The other
Even though that's the only record.
Yeah, I've heard that argument before.
Yeah.
It's kind of silly. Because whether you spin it this way or that way,
Really? Well,
as long as it's running in the groove, it's not going to damage it.
yeah, I don't think the needle is going to scratch it if it goes backwards or forwards.
Records, you got everything, and I think at some point Roger takes off, and Eddie's just chilling at home by himself. And he pulls out a cassette, and he gets the idea to play the acetate Sammy Kerr record backwards and record it onto a cassette. So let's see. So here's Sammy playing, and he's recording, and you hear all this laughing coming from the speakers. And Eddie's just kind of fascinated by the whole thing. He's like, man, this is fucking unreal. Like, he's getting off. He thinks it's kind of amazing, And the Ragman is kind of talking to Sammy here at this point. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it full on says, I believe, Sammy says his name when he's playing it says Eddie.
He says, what is the plan? And then this is when Sammy Kerr says, revenge, remember, or something, right? Just like, come on, get your head out of your ass, dummy. What do you think we're doing here? And I think Eddie tries to say something, and Sammy says, quiet. And there's a knock at the door, and it's his mom. He's like, what the fuck are you doing in there? She's like, go to bed, And then, and I think Eddie goes back in to talk to Sammy again about the plan. And yeah. So when Eddie goes back to double,
yeah, because he starts asking the record questions. I mean, he's having a conversation with the fucking thing, like.
Was it 66 Crush? That's okay. I couldn't. Yeah, I was like, okay. So scene. We're at the school
Yeah,
now.
that's what I wrote down. Metal Machine 66 Crush.
Playing the cassette.
All right, yeah.
And some bullies show up, and they're all in like. Yeah.
Well, it's Tim again, of course, our patented bully, and another buddy. And let me just say one thing. It's funny, and all these movies do it, and they still do it today. That they tried to make us believe that all these kids are actually in high school because they are well beyond the age of being in high school.
They
show Tim's buddy that he goes to down there in the metal shop, and the dude watching the door looks like he must be about 30. Yeah. So not a high school kid, but
Is that what it was? Okay. Well.
Yeah. Well, it was they were jocks,
I just took a time.
Yeah, or whatever,
I was like, I got it now. And he says,
Yeah, I recognize him now.
and he kicks his Walkman, and they pick him up and throw him down the hallway like a fucking rag doll and shit. And
Yeah.
then he grabs a wrench. I say, man, I tell you, motherfucker, you start throwing wrenches at me, we're gonna fight. Like, I mean, but I'll tell you one thing, I'm not gonna lay against the wall and be your fucking target.
Yeah, well, yeah, but if you get hit with that wrench, there ain't gonna be much of a fight. That's gonna be the end of it, right there.
Yeah. So he throws a
Yeah,
couple
yeah.
of wrenches at him.
Well, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. Yeah,
Or whatever. His tie gets wrapped up in some sort of do you know what that is? It's like a yeah. It fires and it just comes to life.
it was like like a lathe or something, or a drill press or some shit, and it fires up, and
Or whatever that's
yeah,
right? Yeah. And yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I thought for sure. Yeah. I was very surprised.
yeah. And this is when I thought we were gonna get our first death here, and I was like, this is gonna be great,
So
but you know,
and I think it's Eddie that
they
basically turns
they fucked us up.
right and saves his ass. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's right there by the switch, and he waits to the last possible second. He's torturing this motherfucker like, oh, am I gonna turn it on? You know, and yes, he does. He does turn it off, but
Like what? I just saved your fucking. I just saved your goddamn life, man. What the fuck? What an asshole, man.
and be like,
Let's take a quick break. We'll be right
if I had
You're listening to the Heavy Door Horror Podcast. It's about fucking time.
And we're back. So basically, yeah. So Eddie basically just saved Tim's life, and he's like, "It's not over yet," right? And so next scene, is Eddie peeling out of the parking lot, basically, right? And he just goes tearing down the street, blowing red lights, right?
yeah, that's exactly what I wrote down. I said this motherfucker leaves school and has no regard for these lights because he's just blowing through them, dude.
Yeah, it's like all red. Just
Yeah.
But you know when you got 4,000 or 5,000 pounds of steel underneath you,
Yeah.
you can go through the red lights even if you get hit.
Yeah, and he was driving a land yacht. I mean, that's like a 4,000, 5,000 pound car.
Oh yeah, that was a big boy right there.
looked like an old Impala or something.
You think so?
I couldn't quite tell.
Yeah,
So
or
we're
a
back.
Caprice or something.
So
Yeah,
so I guess he was in a rush to get home because next scene he's at home. And mom. Oh no. So we're at home and with mom, and she has his laundry, and she finds in his laundry his heavy metal bracelet, right? The leather bracelet with the spikes.
Oh yeah.
Very good.
Or the studs.
Yeah, with the studs, exactly right. And she's basically snooping around his room, and she accidentally turns on the radio. And she's freaking out, and then the window breaks, right? Because did something happen with the record player, and the window cracks or something?
Yeah,
Well,
the music was really loud, and yeah, like it took
Oh
control of
yeah.
itself.
Oh, and then right, so then they couldn't turn down the volume, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so she finally turns off the music, and Eddie's standing there in the doorway, like, what the fuck you doing, am I right? Right? So let's see. So so now Eddie's there in his room. He lights up some candles. He starts playing the record, and the record itself starts playing really, really fast. And he grabs a cassette, and I think basically we're led to believe that he's going to go try and capture some more recordings off of the record spinning backwards at super high speeds for whatever. And that's kind of the end of the scene. And so basically now we're back at Lake Ridge High School. And let's see. Bully Tim finds a note from Eddie that says peace offering, and then what does he give him again?
Yeah. He gives him one of the tapes that he's made of the record, and he says, hey, I'm sorry, peace offering. Here's a tape. Hopefully we can bury the hatchet. Unbeknownst to Tim, that it's all, he's playing him again because this is not a peace offering. This is a trick. You know, it's like, yeah, out for revenge. He's like, fuck you, motherfucker. Play this tape and see what happens. Find out.
So, what is that clicking noise? I'm hearing that shit again, like last time.
I think it was you trying to open that beer.
No, it wasn't me, but I stopped.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't do. I hear nothing.
Hold on. Let me do something real quick. So let's see. So we're back in school. So yeah. So again, Tim sees the note and thinks it's a peace offering. Whatever does he know? And we cut to like there's a scene in the hallway, and there's a dude that's standing there holding like a little stepladder for some chick, and he's just standing there staring up her skirt. Did anything catch that?
He's He's literally. I don't even think he's holding the ladder. I think he's just standing there, looking at her, looking up her skirt as she hangs a banner for the Halloween dance. That's coming up. Yeah, it was pretty classy. I mean, classic and classy move. High school. I mean, who wouldn't want to get an upskirt shot of some girl hanging? When you're in high school, that's what you do.
Okay. So track 2.
I mean,
minute 3:15.
I don't think today's generation agrees with that, but our generation and prior generations.
And homeboy that was doing it in question, the guy in question, he ain't worried about it. He was like, I don't know.
No, yeah, no, he doesn't give a shit. He's like, yeah, I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
So
absolutely.
Her upskirt. And Eddie looks like a. Oh yeah, so Eddie shows up for the dance, and he looks like he's supposed to be an extra in Breakin' or Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo, right? He's got like the whole like the headband and the fucking like. Doesn't he have like a denim vest and all this crazy shit? I mean, he may as well be wearing like fucking leg warmers and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Good point. Good point, Danny. Good point.
I forget. His buddy says something to him about get a whip, Eddie. Did anybody catch that? Long story short, he says, "I love your outfit, but I gotta go," and he takes off. So let's see. We're again at the high school, and Bully Tim is making out with Lori Laughlin. Or no, they're not at the high school. They're like in a car.
They go to like the lake or something. Yeah. Yeah, they went to make out point or some bullshit like that.
We were at the lakeside. my notes.
We're
at the lakeside, and Bully Tim's there making out with Lori Laughlin, and at some point he says, "I gotta pee," right? He jumps out of the car.
Yeah, so they're making out pretty good, and I thought he said, "I gotta go," and I guess
he said he gotta go.
I gotta go pee. But I think he meant I got to go piss instead. He just didn't follow it up. But I mean, because I wouldn't have left her in the car. I would have. Come on, let's keep going.
So let's see. Yeah, so he jumps out to pee, and Lori's in the back seat. And she finds a cassette and a cassette deck, like a Walkman or whatever. She puts the headphones on, and she starts listening to. I guess it's play.
And this is where we get one of the best scenes in the movie. In my opinion. She starts listening to the satanic demonic music, and a green aura, vapor, whatever, starts emanating from the Walkman and the headphones and starts sexually pleasuring her, I guess. It's, yeah. And and she's enjoying herself. And then we get boobs.
And yeah, so basically, like whatever the Sandy Kerr demon is, has no limitations to its, like lack of class, so to speak. Because it's, I mean, he's got
sexual prowess.
Shirt off, he's pulling on her panties and all this crap. That ghost is busy right there. He's trying to make it happen. Some green shit comes out of the headsets all over Lori. Lori's top opens. Lori's horny. She's undressed by the green mist, and it opens up her pants, and that's when we get the big boob scene.
Yeah.
And basically, I wrote down the green mist is getting off.
Yeah. It was. She was getting off. Yeah.
Right. Crazy looking like Ghostbusters thing pops up. That just is in that one specific flash scene and never comes up again. Wasn't mentioned previously. Is not mentioned after, right? It's just a thing.
Right.
Yeah, what is that?
I don't
What is
know if it's
Monster
supposed to be
Gang?
Sammy in his kind of monster state, or I mean, if that's what they're trying to imply, or what? Because yeah, I mean, like when he, spoiler alert, comes, later in the movie, comes actually, becomes what is it, corporeal? Like he manifests himself, so everybody else can see him, not like he's not just a speaking as a on a record. They never, he never he never turns into that monster, again
And
or
it looks
or
like
anything like
the
that.
special
So
effects are like literally straight out of like the 1980s. Like,
Yeah.
well, I mean, I guess it was 86, but it's almost like it's from the same people who did the work on Ghostbusters like the year before or whatever. You know what I mean? It looks like the same type of shit.
yeah, yeah. I mean, maybe they spent more money on Ghostbusters, and that's why there were more and better looking special effects. But they were okay for for what this movie is. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Tim comes back from
Yeah.
peeing, and finds Ginny dead, or Jeannie, I think it was. I kept writing down Ginny.
Yeah, she was fuck. Was she dead? I mean, I know
Oh, I'm
they say
sorry.
she had to go to the hospital. Was she dead, or did
We'll get to that. They do mention
Yeah.
that she's fairly alive in the hospital or something like that.
Maybe she was just pleasured so extensively it just fucked her brain out. I mean, yeah, she couldn't handle it.
Orgasm. So let's see. Yeah, so Tim finds
Mega.
Ginny dead, and he pulls the headphones
Mhm.
off her ear, and there's like some weird slime that's like stuck to her ear, and the headphones was really, I thought that was pretty gross. And Tim
Yeah,
pulls it,
yeah.
yeah.
Maybe it was monster. It could have been monster jizz.
Are you trying to?
It went in her ear. Yeah, in her ear. Yeah.
So Tim pulls out the cassette, and he's like, "Fucking idiot," right? Just he knows. He knows. He's fucking
Yeah,
petty, man.
he's fucking irate. Yeah.
He says, did he kill my girlfriend?
Yeah.
What this guy wrong? Um. So let's see. So next scene, Ozzy is on the TV in a suit, and they're talking about Well, at first they show some people exercising or something, and then it switches, and they show Ozzy on TV in a suit, and it turns out he's actually a reverend. And he's
Yeah, that was great. I mean, I saw Ozzy because I didn't have any knowledge of this movie or anything. I knew Gene Simmons was in it, but but yeah, I didn't know Ozzy was going to be in it. And I was like, oh shit, the Prince of Darkness.
he's reading lyrics from some heavy metal song, whatever. I'll have to track this part down and add it. As a matter of fact, let me just go ahead and put that down here. Ozzy part. I think I actually wrote it down already, but I'll drop that in.
Yeah, because he looks as clean cut as I've ever seen Ozzy look ever. Guys, his hair is kind of pulled back in a ponytail, but not completely, and he's got a collared shirt on and glasses and shit. No, no.
Yeah, so he
Yeah.
these lyrics, and he's like, I don't know about you, but it sounds like he's talking about a sexual act, right? Whatever. Like I said, I'll drop that audio in later. So
Yeah.
we just get that quick snippet from
Mhm.
Ozzy on the screen. So now we're next scene is let's see, where are we at? Weirdo Eddie chilling in the dark. What am I doing here? Do you guys? What happens after that scene?
Most Eddies I know are weirdos and chill in the dark. So,
Yeah.
so then Tim is
He shows it.
he's going after Eddie to the tape. Like he gets pissed off. Yeah, and he confronts him. And he's like, "How you piece of shit? You gave me that tape. Now my hot girlfriend Lori Laughlin's in the fucking hospital. I'm gonna get you back to this all that shit."
To rush him up the stairs, and doesn't he like move his hands, and all the candles on the pumpkins like light up and shit like that, right? Did you guys pick up on that? Yeah.
Right, and he's got some fucking Jedi fucking force powers shit. Yeah,
And basically, the bullies, freak
right.
out with this whole pumpkin stuff. So he just says, "You stay away from me," and he leaves. So Eddie goes back in the house and he starts playing the record again. And let's see. and he asks the record what happened to Ginny. And yep. Yeah, and he says,
Yeah, he starts talking to it again. He's having a conversation with the record.
and he hears laughing. And you could see in his face,
Yeah, well,
he's
Sammy. Yeah.
worried, like maybe, hold on, maybe I didn't realize what I was getting myself into with this whole thing, Yeah, yeah.
Sure. And I think Sammy's laughing because what happened to Jenny? He's like, I almost fucked her to death. That's what happened.
But and so Sammy Kerr goes to whatever is laughing.
Yeah, right.
And at some point he says, "Kill them all," and he says, and the last thing Sammy says is "fuck them," right? And which I thought was a little abrupt. So basically, at this point, Eddie's disturbed by how Sammy's taking the shit basically too far. And he decides, yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, he's a real demon, I mean, quote unquote. And, he's got, and now I believe Eddie's realizing he's a little in too deep,
Wait, what? I'm lost here again. God damn it. But basically, he's decided he's going to be breaking up with Sammy. Is more or less what happened. Yeah. So, and then
he wants to break up with Sammy and get with Leslie.
He tells the record tells him to go to kill Leslie, right? And he says, "No way, man," right? And then the record says she set you up. And then all of a sudden, his mom's calling from downstairs. He says, "Your dad's on the phone," right? And Sammy asks mom and Sammy asks mom to come in from the record. So Sammy from the record is telling Eddie's mom to come in the room, and Eddie's screaming, "No!"
Right, because
Yeah.
So yeah, the stereo, I mean the record, the stereo, whatever, has taken on now a complete life of its own. It's not just speaking, but it's also controlling shit and whatnot. And his mom is talking to him from outside the door, and our character Eddie is telling her, "Don't come in." And then our character Sammy from the record is impersonating his voice, saying, "Oh, mom, come on in." With what we're led to believe that Sammy is going to harm his mother in some way, probably. And so Eddie doesn't want that. Yeah.
Well, he did say something. He was like, "Yeah, we can tag team her too," or something like that. It was weird. Yeah. I don't know if he said tag team, but he was like, "Yeah, we can do her too," or something like that. It was
See, Kim, I need more of this. I need more of this from you. All right, I need more of this. Where has this Kim been? Yeah.
No, but I just thought it was disturbing because then he was like, "Oh, that's my mom, dude." Like, fuck.
This is why we.
Yeah.
Jim, stay focused, baby. This is key.
That's why we're here, Kim. That's why we're here.
Somebody gets to a store or some shit.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's trying to tell mom, "Oh, I don't feel well. I'm sick. Will you bring me some soup?" And to try and get her the hell out of there because the record is trying to trick her to come in to the motherfucking.
I don't know if you guys picked up on that. But during the hamster's just going fucking nuts while the room's shaking. Yeah, the fucking hamster's fucking flipping out. So at some point it causes
the stereo?
where the soda spills on the record player, right?
Oh,
It unleashes this big surge of electricity, and a hand and a face start coming out of the speakers. And then all of a sudden, boom, you're dead silent. And suddenly, Sammy Kerr is there in the room, right? He basically manifests right there in the room. Yeah.
Comes to life. Yeah.
Yeah. So I put Sammy bursts into the room because
he's in the flesh, man. Like he's come back from the netherworlds, and
it's like you ever watch the Highlander movies? Anytime he kills somebody, it's like that scene. And they show a clock on the wall is spinning.
Yeah, I mean he's like Electro Man,
Ozzy's on there. Sammy reaches to the TV and tries to swipe or swipe his face off. Yeah, but doesn't he like swipe them?
He does swipe. He swipes like the TV away, yeah, or some shit, and then the TV goes
Savage,
dark.
dude. Like, he's like, shut up.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, he swipes at his face, but it's like he's actually able to get into like the screen and affect whoever is on the other side of this. It's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
and then he's
Yeah.
holding his face. He's like, ah, man.
Yeah, because he's like Electro Man or that movie Shocker. Like he can travel through, whatever has electricity, he can travel through it or whatever.
Man,
Yeah, he can.
That's pretty cool.
He goes back to
Wow.
the soup.
That was kind of crazy.
That's what it is. Very good. Thank you. I guess I forgot to write down the second half.
Yeah.
And so mom's at the door.
Yeah, he says, be loyal to your idols. They could turn against you.
Yeah, she's taking care of him. Yeah, and then and this is when he snaps and destroys the stereo. Right, yeah.
Yeah, good mom too. She was on it with the soup. She.
Just a
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
good mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. He completely. He grab a baseball bat and just fucking lets the stereo have it. And then she comes in and says, "What? Your stereo?" And he's, "Oh, I wanted a new one anyway." Well, I'm glad you can afford that, son, because I'm not buying you another one, motherfucker, since I just watched you smash it.
He calls Roger and tells him, what's up with that cassette I gave you?
So, yeah, he smashes his record, yeah. And then does he go downstairs and he calls his buddy, Roger, right? Is that where we're at?
Yeah.
But prior to that, he calls Roger. Roger picks up the phone and goes, "Hold, please." And then comes right back and he's like, "Oh, we just got call waiting. This is really cool." Oh, that was hilarious.
Yeah, so he gets Roger on the phone. He says to go get the tape, steal it back.
What an asshole. Hold, please.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Roger. Yeah, okay.
Because it's still. I mean, he figures it's still in Tim's car because that's the tape he gave to Tim that mind fucked Lori Loughlin.
Yeah. And sure enough, he pops that door open, grabs the tape, and he's out of there like nothing.
He's got a coat hanger that he's straightened out, and he's sticking it down in through the window.
So
he sure did.
So Roger's at home, drinking some fucking chocolate milk. And then he hears or sees like a flash.
Yeah, I wrote down. Of course, he plays the tape. Of course, he plays the goddamn tape.
Stops. It turns off. And there's Sammy, right? Sammy basically just appears in Roger's house, and he goes, "Hey," and he says, "Hiya, Raj, how you doing?" Right? And then the TV comes on, and he tells Roger.
Yep, yeah. Kurt has appeared. Simon Kurt.
That's basically what he does. Yeah, and while the TV's on, once again, there's some old lady on the TV, and Sammy reaches into the TV, not only swipes her
right at the Halloween dance
through the TV, and when she comes out on our side, she's just like a charred corpse of a body, and he just kind of like drops her on the floor. That shit was pretty wild, I thought. Technically, okay, yeah, makes sense, yeah. What's that?
And I guess that's our first confirmed kill of the movie. Our first KIA, I think.
She might still be having an organ.
No, Lori didn't die, right? She was in the hospital.
Yeah, so yeah.
I think she's just in the hospital. We never get confirmation whether she's passed on or still alive.
Yeah. Sammy basically influences Roger, then Will.
She might.
So scene, we hear a doorbell and we hear Mom, it's Stan's here, and Stan is dressed, so I guess Mom's boyfriend is a skinny, goofy guy named Stan, and he's dressed like Rambo. And he looks yes. Yeah. It's so stupid.
Yeah, shit is hilarious.
So
Yeah,
they're getting ready to go.
it
They're ready to
is
go
pretty great.
out,
And he said, "What does he say?" I wrote it down. He said, "Die, you common pig."
and she says to
And to fucking Eddie as he opens the door.
So
It's
now we got the
Stan.
school dance. And basically Roger's there at the dance. He finds a stereo that's pumping music into the dance. At some point we see Leslie, and she's dressed up
Uh,
like the worst Princess Leia ever. Did you catch that? It was terrible. It was it was it was bad. Uh, yeah, that's weird. Basically this establishes that Roger's at the dance. He's got the
yeah, her
casino.
costume wasn't that great. I guess they must have spent they spent the budget on the on the special effects.
The costume.
Music playing. The doorbell rings. The trick or treaters are there. The phone rings, and it's Leslie. And she says, "You having a party? Are you going to the party, or whatever?" And he says, "No, I'm sick." And then there's I can't remember. Basically, Eddie hangs up with her and gives the trick or treaters. He's trying to get the trick or treaters off the porch. Um, he hears music. Yeah, yeah. He he hears the music. Yeah, he hears the music
Well, yeah,
playing.
because Leslie has called him and said Roger's here and he's gonna play some tape. I mean, along those lines. And that's when Eddie is like, "Holy shit!" He's gonna play the tape and bad shit's gonna happen.
Like trick or treat, and he basically just like pours the whole bowl, and the kid's like, "Cool, thanks, dude."
Mm.
And
Yeah, the
yeah,
payphone at the school.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's this little girl dressed up like a princess in a classic Disney princess outfit, all by herself, not out trick or treating with her friends or nothing. And when he opens the door, she goes, "Trick or treat, smell my feet," you know, and and then he races out and gives her the whole bowl of candy
So
and tears off in his car and runs like 3 or 4 red
yeah,
lights
so the
again.
car stereo
You
is
know,
basically trying to work again. Yeah, the car stereo is working against him. And then all of a sudden, the car starts driving itself. And it almost kills some kid, right? That's like walking around in a ghost outfit.
and then the car becomes possessed basically
Then they're in some
as
wreck
he's driving. Yeah.
and the car is basically trying to kill Eddie. And next thing you know, they're flying down the freeway. And he manages to get underneath the
Yeah, yeah.
short out the battery, I guess, right? Or the electrical.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so yeah, because the music was controlling the car through the music.
I think he disconnected the stereo from the power of the car and and then the car kind of like died or whatever because now it wasn't possessed anymore.
Bridge
Yeah,
at some point. So we're at the scene now.
right.
We're at back at the school, I
Mhm.
believe, and they're yelling at some guy who's on stage making an announcement. His name was Wembley, which I thought was pretty funny. Yeah, f- he's a he's a the only other person I've ever known named Wembley was a Fraggle.
Yeah, he's one of the fucking teachers at the school and chaperoning the
Set,
dance.
and the band's coming on, and ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the Kickers. And so the
Oh, Fraggle Rock, cheddar biscuit, love Fraggle Rock.
the band starts playing, and suddenly Sammy Kerr emerges from a guitar amp, right? He comes like out of a guitar amp or some shit, right?
The Kickers. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, he comes out of the amp.
He comes out, yeah, he comes out of the guitar amp and like kills the lead singer almost, or lead guitarist kind of
Yeah.
almost immediately, and then proceeds to put on a pretty good show. You know,
Yeah. Oh, definitely good show.
To the That thing. So the thing that they show basically through the whole trailer, um, yeah, they got down, man. They got down. Yeah, so they start playing. So Sammy finally getting on his thigh and getting the crowd all riled up. He starts playing, and the drummer,
And that band was pretty tight, man. They held it together. Really,
They get bumped. Yeah.
they were up there rocking out, dude.
Yep. It sounds like what the fucking. That's so dumb. Sure. At this point, why not? Yeah. Well, whatever, man. So
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
singing and everything I mentioned, you could tell as soon as he opened his voice.
Unless maybe he's possessed all the other band members, somehow. Anything's possible.
It
Yeah.
turns into a rap video. I mean, it's a rap video, more or less. It's like an MTV music video from it's what you would see on that time during the 80s on MTV. And the crowd listens to Sammy impersonate, right? People in the crowd are like, "I thought he died."
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's hair metal. It's hair metal for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, because wouldn't any logical person be like, "Oh, that motherfucker's dead," so yeah, it must be an impersonator.
And it's Halloween, and they're not freaked out by like the freaking hideous face. They think it's just.
He's got a fucked up face and all that shit too. He's got a bunch of scars or open wounds, like almost like
or the
claw
killings, right? But they want to say what they want killings. So.
What better day to try to pull that shit off? You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
But a couple of people were like, "Oh, he's better than the real thing," you know. They were like,
yeah, a couple of the students were like, "These guys better than the real Sammy."
Yeah.
And he had to go poo. But
yeah, he was.
So yeah, all of a sudden he starts fucking firing lightning bolts.
Well, he's still all distraught about his girlfriend Lori Loughlin getting fucked by a ghost, you know.
Disintegrated on the spot.
I mean, that would emasculate anybody, you know.
And at one point he was like, remember he's all playing on the guitar like the fretboard, and like there was like a lightning bolt coming out.
Yeah, which I went down. Finally, people are dying now. I was like, yes,
yeah,
right.
They got they're getting vaporized. They're just like, you know.
Halloween stunt. Some people started, seeing dead bodies, and they started panicking. Yeah, more or less. Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, exactly, dude. This is a school shooting they didn't plan for, right? But at some point, after he's fucking tired of disintegrating kids in the crowd, he turns around and he fucks up.
Yeah, I mean, there was an active shooter basically at their Halloween dance. You know, I mean,
lightning bolts start kicking in, and he's doing this crazy guitar, and it doesn't even sound that good as someone who likes guitar and all that crap. It was just noise. It was just nonsense, basically. But he's making all this noise, and then boom, like his guitar explodes, right? And then when the guitar explodes, where's Sammy? He's sitting on the basketball hoop, right? So somehow now he's on the basketball hoop, and then he starts swinging through the crowd or some shit, like you're saying, right? Yeah. I don't know. And so that scene kind of comes to an abrupt end, and we're in the bathroom, and Leslie's not paying. And so Leslie's in the bathroom. She's not paying attention.
Yeah, he like teleported or some shit, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, 1000%. And then all of a sudden, Tim pops into the women's bathroom, ladies in the girls' restaurant.
Oh, God.
That was kind of weird. So then we're at.
Yeah, and you can actively hear in the background of the movie the screaming going on out in the auditorium, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Leslie was back in there changing out of her poorly put together Princess Leia costume, and is standing there in just a bra in front of the mirror. Another boob shot here, but we didn't. And Tim breaks in, kind of inebriated, and starts being an asshole to this girl. And we got a real. I thought we were in for like a rape scene here, but luckily it didn't go there.
Back and forth. This is. Yep. Yeah. So, I put it so.
Yeah, and then Tim gets pissed off, like he kisses Leslie, he corners her up against the wall, kisses her, and then she doesn't want to go there with him and stuff, and then he slugs her right in the fucking face, like Jesus.
Yeah, tell me about it, dude. Jesus, fucking 700 people done said it already, bro. So Tim's looking. So I think at this point, doesn't she manage to get away from him? And
Correct. Yeah, I did hear that. He's like, well, we've done this before. Well, Tim, you know what? No means no, Bill Cosby. All right, no means no.
Is Eddie? So then Sammy grabs Tim, and he finds Tim, and what does he do to him? He like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
He basically grabs him by the neck and picks him up. So they show it's one of those classic scenes where you get picked up by a big guy and they show the feet like a foot off the ground and I'm like, oh, like picking him up. And then what is he? He like reaches for an electrical outlet and then grabs the electricity from the outlet and transfers it to his fucking head and I guess explodes his head with electricity.
And gay guy from Melrose, thank you. And done. We took care of that problem.
Yeah.
So let's see. That's funny. I put as Sammy grabs Tim, find and plug, and Tim dead. I don't know what that means. But Tim is dead. And Eddie finds Leslie, and now they're outside, and then the
gay guy from Melrose Place.
So there's chaos. Yeah, like they always just fucking cops always show up at the end of the movie, right? So he finds Leslie. Let's see. Sammy shows up fully electrified. And he says something about how we had a deal, right? And
finally.
Yeah.
Right, and when Eddie showed up initially and found Roger, he was like, "We got to find the breakers or the circuit breakers so we can shut the power off to the school to minimize Sammy's ability to do stuff with electricity and travel and all that shit." And so they found the breaker box, and now Sammy's going after Leslie and Eddie, and then Roger shows up to try, quote unquote, try to save the day.
That is the old ticker pop in there. So at this point, we're now outside, and there's cops questioning kids. And they're telling the cops.
Because he did hit the circuit breaker with the crowbar, and probably got a good jolt there.
The lead singer of some random metal band that died, right?
He'd probably be dead.
Oh yeah.
Well, he had just passed away. It was on the news, and I guess he was from that town. Like he went to that high school.
He's supposed to be like the big rock star.
It is plausible to think that maybe everybody in the town or wherever the fuck they were know that this guy's passed away.
Yeah, I went to school with him or something. It's like
there you go. Maybe these cops went to school with him.
Yeah.
Huh?
So the cops want to talk to Eddie, and he runs. He flees. And Leslie follows. I wrote down why, I don't know. And the next scene, we're in an alley, and Leslie's demanding.
Oh yeah. They're like, these kids must be either wasted, drunk, or on fucking hallucinogenics or some shit,
Right. Yeah. So Leslie demands answers. Eddie explains the record thing. Calls the radio station because they're going to play Sammy's record at midnight. And
Yeah, she wants to know it all. I mean, Leslie wants all the answers now. She's like, all right, tell me what the fuck is going on.
yep. Yeah. Yep.
Well, and I don't even know if we mentioned that. Like when he gets the record from Gene Simmons at the beginning of the movie from the nuke, he says on Halloween night at midnight, we're gonna play and all that. We're gonna play his new record all over. It's gonna be a special, special thing. So now they realize they got to go stop this from happening because if it gets played over the airways, it's going to be everywhere, and Sammy could go anywhere.
So let's see. We're back to Eddie and Leslie running through the streets. So they see cops and they hide, and Sammy jumps out of a house window.
Is that
Sammy shows up, jumps out of a house window.
Yeah, Mr. Gene Simmons himself.
Towards the cop car. And the cop gets out and says, "I'm going to tase you, dude." And he tases Sammy, right? And Sammy basically sends the charge back through the taser to the cop, right? And knocks him on his ass, right? Yeah. There's like, yeah, that's right. Yeah, there's like smoke coming out of the boots or some shit, right? Yeah. So let's.
And well, it knocks him on his ass is an understatement. We get our famous scene of just some shoes and nothing else. The cop's shoes. So he's been vaporized as well.
The school, I guess that happened earlier. But Eddie basically just starts to
out of the boots and shit. Yeah.
He smashes the TV for good measure. At some point, we see a little small transistor radio that he overlooked. That happens to be on, and if it was left on, it must have like an endless battery power on it, but whatever. So Eddie bursts through the door and scares Leslie. And they're trying to find the keys to, what is it again? The car?
Yeah. Yep.
They're trying to find the keys to the car, right? So let's see. We have ominous music playing. There's ominous music playing as they check the shower, right? And then they find the key. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they find the keys.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when Sammy shows up, and his hands start melting through the door. And
because
he's trying to come through the door like
they go upstairs and end up in the bathroom. At Eddie's house.
That was pretty cool. Sammy trips. So Sammy comes through the door and trips on a hamper and falls, and his hand goes in the toilet as Eddie flushes the toilet. I wrote.
Here's Johnny.
Dude.
Yeah. And he starts, because electricity and water don't mix. I didn't think they were going to go there with this. That was totally unexpected. I'm like, this motherfucker's the end of the toilet, and it's now like,
yeah, but like he couldn't pull out of his arm out of the toilet. He was like, oh, I can't.
And then add insult to injury, our Eddie, as they're trying to get away, and Sammy's hand's still in the toilet, flushes the toilet, and it kind of pulls him in farther.
Yeah, like, okay, whatever.
Started up, and they drive around the corner backwards. Oh, that's what happened. Yeah, takes by itself backward. Yep. And it takes off down the block and goes around the corner. Yeah, it takes off down the block. Yep, exactly.
So he started the station wagon up, and then the station wagon, it took off by itself, in reverse.
Yeah. So they hop in the cop car, and they're getting
like it's another
take off. Here comes that station
wagon. Yeah, another possessed vehicle. Because the radio turned on,
and so basically Eddie at this point realizes that he's got to put an end to this whole thing with the music coming.
Right, and they jump in that. Yeah.
Is there any kind of radio receiver? So let's see. So let's see. So we're now. So he races to the radio. So Eddie races to the radio station, which is WZLP, Everything is dark. And he says something about, I started this, I got to do something. So he gets inside the radio station, and there's just all this crazy poltergeist activity going on in the radio station. Things are floating around, things are flying across the room. It's straight out of that movie Poltergeist. Um, and in the radio station, yeah. And at this point, Eddie, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. And at this point, Eddie has like a small meltdown here and basically just kind of throws his hands up in the air and runs.
It also doesn't. It appears that Sammy Kerr has killed everybody in the radio station as well.
Leslie to count to 100.
Yeah. So our buddy Nuke is dead. Everybody's dead. Jeez,
And then he kisses Leslie and he hops in the cop car and he takes off. So he's racing down the freeway towards the unfinished bridge, apparently, according to the notes that I found. And Eddie's basically talking shit to Sammy through the car because he assumes he can hear him. And he's like, I know you can hear me. And he says something about, how about that toilet? You looked flushed, right? And meanwhile, we cut back to Leslie. She's counting. And then we cut back to Eddie, and he's like, talk about eating shit. And then he's telling, Eddie's basically telling Sammy, you ain't shit without your fans. And then all of a sudden, Sammy manifests in the back seat in the cage of the cop car. And he's like, basically like, he's like, you motherfucker, like, you talking all this shit. And Sammy looks at him, Eddie looks at him and says, I hope you can swim, sucker. And at the last second, as they're headed towards the bridge, he plunges the car into the bridge and jumps. I thought he jumped out, but he didn't. But yeah. So he goes into the water with the car and basically finishes off Eddie Kerr by cutting off the stereo signal because now Leslie's turned off the cassette. It's no longer playing. It's no longer harming anybody. And we come to the end of Sammy Kerr here in our movie. And so that's the scene. They're back at the studio. Oh yeah. So Eddie again. So I thought Eddie had jumped out, but apparently, so at the last second, he plunges the car into the river. Leslie's now destroying the studio for no reason. I don't know if you guys caught that. I didn't really know what the point of any of that was, but she's in the studio, like just destroying things. And I don't know. Yeah. And then all of a sudden we cut back to the river. Eddie pops out of the river. Good thing he can swim well. And he survived that long ass fall. Because if you remember, that bridge was fucking up there. It wasn't like your local town bridge. It was a big ass bridge, dude. And
who doesn't like smashing shit up sometimes, you know?
Now, the water shorts out the cassette tape, severing the last connection. Sammy Kerr is destroyed permanently, vanquished by the very music he lived for. Yes, there's basically water filling up in the studio, and it basically shorts out the building, and that's the end of Sammy Kerr. Eddie survived the plunge and reconnects with Leslie, and the threat appears to be over. Back at the studio, Eddie's making out with Leslie, and Eddie takes over the radio station. And scene, that is the end of the movie. That was a long one.
Right.
So apparently at the very end of the movie, there's this satirical TV clip features TV evangelist Reverend Aaron Gilstrom, played by Ozzy Osbourne, railing against heavy metal, a darkly comic coda to the film.
I don't even think it's a sense of humor. I think they're just out-and-out sick people. I mean, and they're trying to make everyone else around them who listens to their music as sick as they are.
Reverend, let me ask you a question. This album, Do It Like a Dog. Now, this has to be about animal behavior. Is that right?
Let me give you an example. I have one of the lyrics. You will right. Tell me what you honestly think it's
Go
about.
right ahead.
Gonna drive my long steel missile down on your love channel. Deep, deep, you'll beg for more. Raising hell and serpent score. Feel me, feel me. Now, what does that mean to you? To me, it means nothing but a sexual act.
Welcome back to the Heavy Door Horror Podcast.
I'm important. I have something to say.
Don't be a coward, son. Speak your mind.
Was she a great big fat person?
So why does your opinion matter more than my opinion?
Get your shit together, Danny.
Oh, good for you!
All right. Well, this is what we call the 2-minute warning. Started out as a 3-minute review. Everybody gets to take 3 minutes to talk about the movie, discuss what they liked, didn't like about it, anything that stuck out to them, any strong opinions they had. This is an opportunity for everybody to go ahead and do that. Again, it started out at 3 minutes, then it was too long, so we got it down to 2 minutes, and that was too long, so now it's 90 seconds. So let's go ahead and start at the top as per usual with the one and only
Eddie!
All right, Eddie, you got 90 seconds to talk about Trick or Treat. Go.
All right. Well, this week's summary of Trick or Treat 1986 is going to be here we go. Sammy Kerr returns from the dead to torment teenagers at his alma mater. What the fuck? Kind of a fun movie, I thought. Eddie's getting bullied, looking for his opportunity to nail them bullies. His idol, Sammy Kerr, dies. Eddie gets the only copy of Sammy's last album on vinyl. Of course, it has backmasking on it, where Eddie gets to communicate with Sammy. Then shit gets real. Bullies get set up. Tim almost loses an eye. Sammy wants to go after his love interest, Leslie. After Eddie's love interest, Leslie. Jeannie has an orgasm while listening to Eddie's Rocky tape. Let's see. Roger gets punked by Sammy to play his tape at the party and the dance. Leslie calls Eddie from the dance. Eddie hears Sammy's music. He speeds to the school. Sammy takes over the vehicle while Eddie's trying to drive to the school. Sammy returns to the stage. Finally, people get unalived by Sammy's killer tunes. Sammy chases after Eddie and Leslie. Sammy gets his hand stuck in a toilet, which somehow harms him. Eddie speeds away from the party with the radio to trap Sammy in the back of a stolen patrol car. Leslie destroys the last remaining copies of Sammy's music. Eddie drives a car over the edge of an unfinished bridge. Eddie and Leslie live happily ever after.
And scene.
Hey, hold on. What just happened?
Hi, I'm Brother Eric.
So 86's Trick or Treat. I enjoyed it. I loved. I didn't love the music, but I loved that they used real music. Metal music, whatever, hair bear music from the era, and thought it was good and well placed in the film. What's his name? Tony Field was the actor who played Sammy Kerr, and I thought he did a really good job. I could have done without our emo kind of actor that played Eddie, but it was good. It had some decent deaths finally in the movie. They were fun with the scene at the high school dance with the lightning coming out of the guitar and all that, and people getting vaporized and all that shit. That was fun, and it was just a good time, I guess. It definitely wasn't the best movie I ever saw, but certainly was not the worst movie, in my opinion, that we've covered on this podcast. And that's kind of all I got to say about that.
Sounds good.
Eddie!
All right, let's set it up with
Jim, stay focused, baby. This is key.
All right, I'm going to start you over here with 90 seconds. Go.
Okay, I thought it was original. I thought it was fun. It's like a nice, good idea. But it just kind of fell short on like the storyline, the acting, and the special effects too. But I think they had something that had a lot of potential that they just fell short in the execution. I thought that I like the music, the music and the times. That was really nice. It was original, like the 80s. Like I wouldn't say heavy metal, but it was rock. It was like rock and roll. It was good music. I know they had a lot of musicians that was involved in it. Gene Simmons and Ozzy Osbourne and stuff like that. So it just felt like um like they were trying to spread out of what they originally do. Like it was musicians trying to make music. And it felt kind of like kind of like Michael Jordan going from basketball to baseball. Like it was that they 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 had something they just couldn't execute it correctly. Um, all in all, I didn't hate the movie. I didn't love it. I thought it was good.
Time is up.
Yeah, that was good.
Time is up.
I think I had enough time to say everything that I felt.
Hey, Kim, let me just say, maybe you don't get it. Maybe you just don't get it.
Maybe you don't get it. Yeah.
I accidentally turned off the timer. Let me see. I
Get your shit together, Danny.
my damn thing's falling apart here too. Why are you doing that, man? All right. So let me see. What do I got to say about this movie? If I could just find my timer active. Okay. It's right there somewhere.
Dead air.
Find your timer, Danny.
Uh,
All right.
Danny,
There
for
you
Fanny,
go.
banana, for Fanny, Danny.
It's Richard. I don't know why. I think I know why actually. But this movie was okay for me. It seems vaguely familiar. I definitely have never seen it before. I would have assumed that I had seen something like this, but it doesn't ring a bell. Um, overall, I thought it was okay. I mean, a lot of the people in this movie, were, like, I don't know if you guys noticed, but the guy that played Eddie, I don't know if he's familiar to you guys, but he's familiar to me because he was on like a handful of sitcoms in the 80s. He played Skippy on Family Ties. I don't know if you guys knew that, but yeah. Like he was in a lot of shit growing up. I saw him in a lot of shit. So watching
Yeah.
him in this
Yeah.
he was very familiar to me. I've seen him a million times. Um the movie overall, it wasn't a bad movie, but it definitely wasn't a good movie. It's not something I'd ever watch. I wouldn't watch it again. Um, I mean, it's honestly, it's kind of remarkable. There's really not a whole lot to it. I mean, aside from, they pulled off the kind of MTV hair metal environment, but that's kind of about it. Like, I didn't really get it. And like, it didn't seem very important. It seemed like just a byproduct of everything that was going on at the time. And it was like a movie that had to be made just because it had to be made. I don't know. It left me definitely wanting more. I'll leave it at that.
Thank you for listening to the Heavy Door Horror Podcast.
Now for Eddie with facts, figures, and trivia. In this segment, The Breakdown.
Y'all ready for this?
Tonight's movie was 1986's Trick or Treat, released October 24th of 86, 98 minutes long, directed by Charles Martin Smith, story by Rhett Topham, produced by Michael S. Murphy and Joel Soisan, distributed by De Laurentiis Entertainment Group. We've encountered them before. Budget for this movie was $3.5 million. Box office was $6.8 million. Those are the 1986 numbers. In today's numbers, that would be a budget of $10.3 million and box office numbers of approximately $20 million. So they doubled their money pretty much. Let's get to the cast. All right. So we have Tony Fields as Sammy Kerr. We have Mark Price as Eddie Weinbauer. Gene Simmons as Newt. We have not Lori Loughlin. It is Elise Richard as Jeannie Wooster. We have Lisa Orgolini as Leslie Graham. That's Eddie's love interest. We have Glenn Morgan as Roger Marcus. We have Elaine Joyce as Angie Weinbauer, Eddie's mom. And we have Doug Savant as Tim Haney. And that's everybody that I'm willing to list.
So is the
Oh wait,
the
wait a minute. I have to pull from two different sources to pull up the cast for this movie. It's inconsistent online. We have Ozzy Osbourne, Reverend Aaron Gilstrom, Alice Noon as Sylvia Cavell, and we have Charles Martin Smith as Miss.
oh he was
And
he
that's
was
it.
the fucking nerdy teacher. Yeah, he was the nerdy teacher in Halloween Down. So
Yeah,
quick question: that you said De Laurentiis produced it? Is that what you said?
yeah. Uh-huh.
Is that
De Laurentiis.
the De Laurentiis from the Italian director is like the father or grandfather of the famous
Yeah.
the
So
celebrity chef
they
Rod on
it
TV?
was it was De Laurentiis. Uh, I'll tell you this much. So De Laurentiis Group eventually became Lionsgate.
Oh,
Put on like never not watch, but Bill Dead 2. They did movie
okay.
all these like huge like 80s blockbuster type films that we've watched before. They did Pumpkinhead. I mean, Dracula's Widow, Bill and Ted's. I mean, like they have
A plethora of 80s movies. Oh.
yeah. So exact. There you
And
go.
that,
There you go.
yeah, that's her of that celebrity chef chick on the Food Channel, right? The one with the tits, Well,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
well,
That's the same.
she's hard to miss.
No. That
No, she's not
She's
in the
not.
movie.
She's not.
It's a
No, she's
lookalike.
not. No, she's not. Yeah,
Mhm.
we all misspoke.
At least
It's not her.
Elise Richards played Jeannie Wooster. That's Orgasm Girl. No, it's not.
Uh,
It's not, dude. And this is like, yeah,
no. I no. I'll take credit for
yeah,
that.
because
yeah, it's
she's
not
not in the
her.
movie.
But
Yeah, we through our whole pod we misquoted or we missaid
Yeah.
the actress's name
And
apparently.
Eddie just
But
sat
I
there
st- I s-
and just let us.
and just let us do it. That's right, Kim. How dare he? But I still give credit to said actress. Her boobs yet, but her no. I mean, no, I can't. No, that was Eddie's
No,
love interest.
Elise,
Her name was Jean.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
yeah,
that was Tim's. Yeah,
I saw that.
Not to be confused with Denise Richards.
Because we started in stats. Go ahead.
Hey, she made sandwiches
man.
for all those hookers. She's a saint. All right, she's a goddamn saint. Yeah,
Wow.
I got some. I got something. Or you got anything else, Eddie?
No, that's it. That's
Okay, so I got a quick trivia fact. So apparently, Keanu Reeves auditioned for the part of Eddie, and was ultimately turned down, and didn't get it, and that's why it went to Mark Price, who again, yeah, was Skippy on
wow.
Family Ties.
Oh, wow. Keanu Reeves. Oh.
Yeah, and can you imagine Keanu in this movie? I mean,
Yeah.
it would have been. I
Yeah.
agree, it would have been better.
think
Yeah.
so.
What else? Well, my big trivia was.
But you know what? It might have derailed.
I thought-
Who knows? Could have derailed his acting career. And we might not have Keanu now. You never know.
I was, dude. I had a whole
You never
conspiracy
know.
theory on. I was going to start a website called Lori Loughlin
Yeah,
Show
that's right.
in trickortreat.com. I was about to start that whole shit, and I was gonna frame her and tell her if she was fucking give me $1,000 while I was asking. I was gonna fucking call USC. Tell her that
Oh boy.
I ain't buying it. That's that shit. At least there is no person named Elise Richards. I bet you that person doesn't even exist.
Or you certainly can ask for a lot more because she paid USC a lot more than $1,000 to get her kid to go to school.
Whatever, dude. I don't know what you guys
Oh,
think.
they changed. Yeah, they've changed it. They've since changed it. Yep.
God damn it. All right. All right. Anybody got any other trivia? Kim, maybe you give it a big fat.
This is real. I'm really liking I'm liking the road this is going. I'm really liking this. I'm loving this. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a little bit, man. Gene Simmons was first offered the role of rocker Sammy Kerr, but he turned it down and eventually made a cameo by taking the role of DJ Nuke, which was DJ Nuke was a tribute to Simmons' childhood idol Wolfman Jack.
And Gene Simmons starred in Kiss.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
And Wolfman Jack starred in the film American Graffiti, which starred the director Charles Martin Smith. So it's kind of a
nice time.
The Heavy Door Horror Podcast.
All right, and we're back with the stats. I'm going to start out with Kim Him because he's got a hard out here. Let me just go ahead and get this extra keyboard out of my way.
Kim, stay focused, baby. This is the key.
Okay, let's get in this. I need your focus. All right, hold on. So first off, Kim Him, in a word, how would you describe 1986's Trick or Treat?
I'm gonna go with creative.
Creative?
Yeah, it was pretty creative. I thought so.
Ooh, wait, I put it in the wrong spot. Maybe I should have given this credit to the right person. Okay, creative. And then let's see, what was your favorite scene?
Probably when the drill thing was getting into the guy's eye, and I don't know. I don't know if I would have stopped it, to be honest. But I like that. You know, I was like, okay,
That's a hot take right there. He doesn't know to stop the drill.
That's
God damn.
that's like one of those choices. It's like, are you gonna stop it or not? You're like,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's a life-changing event right there.
But
I mean, you can be charged with second-degree
but
murder.
if I didn't cause it, the murder,
you didn't
I wouldn't
stop
charge
it.
murder. But I don't have an obligation to stop it. I mean,
Like I said, second degree, not first degree, maybe third.
no, second degree would still be caused by you. But if you're not, if you're not the cause of it, you're just not intervening
Up on this. Sounds like he's right up on this. Yeah. Oh shit. Oh, fuck. Jesus.
I want to say Eddie.
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 Yeah.
Eddie. You are the fuck you man. Fuck you, Eddie.
Ragman.
Your skull rating.
Okay. I mean, it, I want to say it's a B, but it's just not like it just doesn't have the following. I don't think it's like it doesn't have that cult following, you know. I'm giving it like a C. Yeah, like it almost got there, you know. It's so much potential. It's just yeah.
How about your skull rating?
I'm gonna go 2 skulls.
That is safe. Being very safe with this whole thing. You got a backpack guy?
Yeah, I mean, backpack Adam. Damn, I didn't think about that.
Well, I mean,
Well, you don't have to have one if you know.
Well, no, there was like a lot of cool stuff, like this all stuff from the 80s, you know. Um, maybe one of the instruments, maybe like a guitar or the bass or something.
These questions are the optional questions. And I have
Yeah.
an idea for a new category, but we'll talk about that later. Did you see anybody? And again, you're not obligated to answer this, but was there anyone in the movie that couldn't act that you just felt just actually?
Yeah, there's like a lot of the extras. Um, yeah, the extras like in the party and stuff like that. It was just like whatever.
But do we like this movie?
Yeah, you know, I think he would. He would. I don't think he'd hate it. I don't think he'd love it, but I think he'd be like entertained.
So let's go ahead and head back to the top of the Eddie Deeds. Eddie Deeds. In a word,
Eddie!
it is trick or treat. Rock and roll. Second.
Underwhelming.
Yeah.
I knew that was coming.
Good.
This movie. I was just gonna say, it seemed like it had a lot of potential, just like you and just like Eric and Kim have all said. Like, seemed like, hey man, this, it could have gone somewhere else, but it kind of didn't. So, yeah. My favorite scene was when I believe that was Ozzy when he was like on the TV and he was talking against he was speaking out against the rock pornography and such. And then he brings up the album and did you catch the name of that album? It was called "Do It Like a Dog."
Yeah.
And then he starts berating the album about like he starts reading the lyrics of the album and he's like, he's saying some shit where he's like, I think this is like overtly sexual, like, connotation. It's like, yeah, no shit, you know what I mean? Like, as the guy's talking, like, it's basically like guy saying, like, fuck like a dog, like. But that part cracked me up. Yeah, that part cracked me up because it had like the album cover and it was all like.
Maybe we use it for that.
I don't know.
Let's see. How about your favorite? How about
That really cracked me up. Yeah.
Sammy Kerr.
My favorite character was Sammy.
It's Sammy with an I. Yeah.
Yeah, Sammy Kerr.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. It's SAMMI, correct? Or is it just one M? It's just two
It's two M's,
right? Yeah, two M's.
Kerr seemed like an odd.
You never know. You never know with these fucking movies.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, is it Steve Kerr or Tim Curry or?
And how about your skull rating too?
Letter rating, I would give this a C. I feel like it was a movie. It's an A production, by all accounts. But plot and storyline and execution. And just like Kim was saying, or Kim had mentioned, there's no cult following. It's a B movie.
Two. And then just that's
two. I'll give it a solid 2 skulls. No more, no less.
For your grade, right?
It was weak kills, cheap thrill.
You have a backpack item system?
Yeah. See.
The record, the acetate.
Yeah, that vinyl record. Because the vinyl record is harmless. It's harmless in its form as long as it's not being played. Knowing what I know after the fact, it's like, yeah, man, slap that shit up in a nice fucking case, listed as Sammy Kerr's final album, hold on to it for like a fucking decade, and then boom, put it on the market, man.
It's not dangerous until you read it, I don't think.
La Clue 2 for 14.
Did you see anybody?
I got it. I got it.
No, just the extras. I mean, everybody else who was the main player was acting, for the most part. So.
It's like if you're filming a movie on not a closed set, just a shot. It's like, yeah, these people don't know they're in their movie. You know, like,
What do you expect? Dude, they're freaking. I think he would probably start watching it thinking it might be something he would like, and then finding out how the kills were executed and everything, he'd be like, nope. He'd be like, damn it, why'd you make me watch this?
Board here we have. Eric, what do we got from you for, in a word, how would you describe
This is Eric.
Rock and roll. Haha, just kidding. Trick or treat. That's very good.
I would say it was electric.
Hit the nail on the head with that shit, man. So how about your favorite scene? It was indeed Lori Loughlin.
My favorite scene was Lori Loughlin taking her top off in the car scene at the lake. Yeah, that was my favorite scene. I mean, getting jizz. I mean, she got jizzed in the air and God knows where else, and she basically almost died from sexual pleasure. So, it was pretty incredible. One can only hope they're that good at sex.
That's why, in my opinion, I had mentioned that Jeannie has a orgasm listening to Eddie's rocking tape.
Oh, Eddie!
I was just like, yeah. Anyway, continue, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Sammy Kerr. I mean, yeah, because our Eddie in this movie was somewhat of a lame duck, to put it mildly. Not the Eddie we have on this podcast. That guy's a strong, amazing male. Yeah, he's aces. Aces. Like the aces spades. All right, Motorhead. But
yeah.
Okay, and then how about your letter rating and your score?
I'm gonna say it's a B movie. I'm not going C, D, F, and it's definitely not an A, and it's definitely not a B movie. It's a B movie in my opinion. And after discussing it with you fuckheads, I had a 2, going 3. I'm going 3.
Did you have a backpack?
3 skulls. 3 skulls. I do, and Kim kind of stole it, and I'm very angry that we let him go first at this point. It was a guitar to play with Sammy on stage.
He's the he's
the I would have rocked out with my cock out with that motherfucker.
Yeah. All right. So was there anybody in the film that stood out as good act? Anybody notice?
Some bullshit, yeah. Other than Kim's patented the extras, no, I don't believe so. I believe everybody knew they were in a movie, actually acted to their best of their abilities, and therefore everybody knew they were. Well,
yeah,
in my opinion. I'm torn. I've gone back and forth. I think he probably would have hated it at the beginning. And right, I mean, maybe the music would have, he would have liked some of that shit. And then maybe the deaths he would have liked, but ultimately I have to say he probably would have fucking wanted to strangle me for making him watch this movie.
You know what I just realized?
So I don't think he would have, in the end of it, I don't think he would have ended up liking it, in my opinion. Oh,
Yeah, I
this
was
is my
gonna say I thought about that a couple minutes ago. What
Oh, you mean have you? Oh,
this week? This
you mean for next week's movie? Oh well.
All right, so let's see. In a word, I would call this movie
Danny for Fanny, banana for Fanny, Danny.
The movie definitely moved. There wasn't a lot of fat on it. There wasn't a lot of
Rockin'.
scenes and dragged out bullshit. It was pretty much. I mean, and even then, it was still an hour and 22 minutes. But it wasn't a lot of. I thought it was very. Yeah. This one.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was long. I did have to check my counter. I was like, "There's still this much movie." But you're right. I mean, it did move.
Yeah. I think the production was solid.
Is that out? It's like a. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that is the longest one. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Well, Dawn of the Dead is probably the longest movie I've done. That might have been 2 hours.
Yeah. It's up to
I mean, Dawn of the Dead is but that's a class. That's a classic. And
I mean, it was awesome.
Yeah.
My favorite character, I'm just gonna go with that Wembley guy.
Yeah.
Because it was. He was just
Can't go wrong.
much like that character from like Animal House or one of those fucking things. Stand up and give those type of speeches and say shit. You know what I mean? And it was always a very awkward looking guy, and especially back in the 80s. It just was always a real goofy looking guy.
It's funny that you mentioned it. So has everybody? I'm sure I'm talking to my podcast buddies here. You've seen the Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story with John C. Reilly.
Mm-hmm.
So when he's still a teenager, even though everybody else is a teenager and it's full size, full age John C. Reilly, and they're about to play their first show at the talent show, the teacher comes up on stage and hello, ladies and germs, and here's the Dewey Cox and the Dewey Cox 3 or whatever. He totally now that I think about it, reminds me of that
Do you remember when
dickhead.
Back to the Future?
Yeah, that type of character.
Yeah, he was like that kind of goofy looking guy with the weird crooked tie and the big glasses and everything. Let's see, my letter rating from
Oh yeah,
I would say that this is not a B film.
Yeah.
I think that they put money into this, hoping that they could. And I'm not even going to say it was so bad that I'd call it a C film. I think this is not a B movie. I think it's a legitimate movie that just didn't do well. Well, actually, no, from what you told me, it did well. Actually, yeah. I don't. Yeah, I don't think there's anything cult about this. It's a very mainstream for the time kind of movie.
It did do well though.
Yeah. Double their money.
It has a lot of fat on the with like too many long scenes, extra scenes. Bad writing, and one thing that this movie didn't have is a low budget. It was. I mean, even though the special effects were kind of whack, but it was at that time when the special effects were kind of whack. But the movie itself was, paid for. You could tell, you could see it on the screen. They spent some money. So I'm gonna say, yeah. Right. Yeah. That's what you were.
Yeah, unless
$3.5 million.
unless you got fucking ILM doing your special effects in '86 or some shit. It's kind of
green mist coming out of the cassette deck was very much.
Yeah, it's kind of
that whole Nightmare on Elm Street shit. And then my rating, I'll go ahead and give this 2.5 stars just to kind of meet in the middle with everybody. Because I didn't think it was terrible, but I didn't love it.
Yeah.
Backpack item, I was going to say guitar pick, actually. Guitars were there already. And then I did not know they were in a movie.
Okay, yeah.
I love this category because when it jumps off the screen,
that is true. That is true.
Sometimes it doesn't, Yeah. Yeah.
And if somebody that actually who has speaking lines and whatnot doesn't know they're in a fight, it's like it's pretty apparent. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or that. I still think the guy. All right, so from Chopping Mall, the guy that owned the art studio, that was
Yeah.
that was our that's our echelon. That's our that's our Michael Jordan. He didn't know he was in the fucking movie.
Everybody's very funny. I don't know why. It wasn't that big of a deal. It was just okay. Yeah, that time's nostalgic. I live in the moment. Well, those are
It's nostalgic for us, pal.
86's.
Hey, man.
No, trick or treat.
Well, then
What do we do
you
now?
can go fuck yourself then.
Pause this real quick. All right, so since Kim's not here, I had already pulled down a list of recommended films from 75 to 90 that were non-Michael Myers Hollywood Halloween themed movies. And I found one that I figured would be a lot of fun. So, and since Kim is not here, I'm going to go ahead and take his pick for the week, and he can take his pick next week. But we're going to watch. Okay. We're going to watch Chud. Hold on. I'll wait for it. 2.
God.
Oh, Chud 2.
It's the subtitle.
Oh.
Is Bud the Chud.
But the I like it. I like it already.
So next week's movie is Chud 2, Bud the Chud.
I already know who Bud the Chud is,
Yeah.
actually, because he's in one of the movies we've watched previously.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So
wow.
let's take a quick look at that trailer.
Eat 'em up! Eat 'em up! No! These are Chud.
Cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers. Prepare for horror, laughs, and thrills in this outrageous sequel to the home video hit Chud. Chud 2.
Bud the Chud.
Starring Brian Robbins from Head of the Class, Garrett Graham of Police Academy 6, Robert Vaughn, Bianca Jagger, Larry Linville of MASH, and many other popular stars.
A dead body is nothing to be afraid of.
He's suave.
Are you heterosexual?
He's charming. He's different.
Well, he eats people. I guess that could be interpreted as personality quirk.
He's Bud the Chud, a half-dead, decomposing humanoid, the result of a military experiment gone haywire.
Colonel Masters, there was a reason that these creatures were kept underground. For instance, the little matter of the drugs' cannibalistic side effects.
Now he's loose on the town, spreading the horrifying Chud disease everywhere.
What in the wide world of sports is going on in here?
We're not just talking about some animated corpse. You got it? Everything it infects mutates.
The army, the police, and the FBI can't seem to stop this ravenous plague. But a group of clever kids might just chill the Chuds.
Unreal.
Chud 2. This Chud's for you.
All right, well, that was a trailer for Chud 2, Bud the Chud from 1989. That's next week's pick. So that was podcast for tonight. Let's go around the room real quick and let everybody say goodnight. Let's start out with Eddie. Eddie, you got anything to say to the people before we go?
Well, thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. We desire feedback. I know I sure do. I want to know what the hell people are thinking about us. Anyway, everybody have a good night. Keep watching these horror films. And we'll see you next time.
All right. And Eric, you have anything to say to the people before we go?
Yeah, thanks for joining us, and everybody stay scary.
All right. Tim Him, would you like to say anything before we go?
Yeah, just thanks for joining. Looking forward to seeing you guys like next week. Hit a drop a like and leave a comment so we can
All right. Well, we'll let you
get some feedback in.
All right. And as usual, my name is Heavy Door Dan. That was the Heavy Door Horror Podcast for October 7th, 2025. The movie was Trick or Treat from 1986. I went ahead and updated our Spotify page. So now the last, I think, 10 episodes roughly, or by this Sunday, 10 episodes will be up. I had fallen off on that, but I'm back on that, and I'll make sure to just do it every week as part of the process. So please check it out. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube if you're out there listening. Tell your friends about it. Tell them to subscribe. I know we did have a little bit of sound problems here and there tonight, but we're working on it, and it's only going to get better. Again, thank you for listening. And before we go, as I like to say, always remember, those were Lori Lawson's tips. Have a good night.
The Heavy Door Horror Podcast.
Everything is garbage.
Don't act like you're not impressed.